Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Art of Communicating. And you are in the show of Master Your Communication Skills in Just 10 Days. And today is class 4. Before I get into the class, let me do a recap of all the three classes, what we have been doing till now. In the class 1, we were learning about vocabulary boosters. I believe you are adding up more of vocabulary in your book. Rather adding up, I request each one of you to start implementing it. If you find some new words, check the meaning, make a sentence, and see that you use in a day at least 7 times. Next one, the class 2, we were discussing about phrases. Phrase nothing but collection of words. Wherever you find some group of words, try using it, how you can put this in a sentence. Until unless you put into practice doesn't come. And the class 3, we were discussing about some common English words that is derived from our regional languages, from Hindi, Tamil, Sanskrit, and so on. And you can still keep on working on it. You'll be getting lots and lots of other common words which is derived from our regional language. The one best benefit of that is you need not think more when certain things come. Okay, what do you say for, I told you yesterday about caught. Even in Hindi it's same, and even it's here it's same. For example, the other one is loot. It's a very common word. Even in English also is called root. At time as we were ruled by Britishers, certain words were not there in English. So that's the reason they have used our language and converted into English. So you need not worry about, well, the perfection. Please do start speaking, and unless you put your effort, you cannot learn English. Having a will not work out. You need to work on it. Sure. So now it's time to step into class 4. In this class, we are going to learn the usage of do and does. Sometimes people think, what is it for, how does this do and does function? Do and does is generally used for asking about their daily routine activities, or you want to know more about them and you have met them first time, and you want to proceed the conversation. I believe, like last time the conversation, we were talking about greeting and introducing, and we're stretching out a little bit of small conversation, as you know very well then. And if the people are interacting with you, if your conversation is going lively, keep going, do not stop. To make your conversation a little more lively, today I've added up this particular topic wherein it will help you to proceed further without any problem. So here today the topic is all about family, hobbies, daily routine activities. So let us go first with about family. So when we talk about family, we first thing is we will allow to ask them where they live, right? In a casual talk, some people ask, where is your house? If it is very close by, okay, if you're same location, at that time I can ask like, where is your house? The next format is, where are you living? You cannot say where are you live. No, where are you living? If you want to format in the word of live, so you need to ask, where do you live? Little more in a very better way, you can ask, where are you put up, or where do you reside? For this the answer is, I live in so and so place, or I am put up in so and so place. If you want to ask about a third person, it could be about he or she or whatever, depending upon the subject, do and does varies. Now, I used your do because the subject is you. For I, you, we, they, we need to use do. If it is third person, like about your friend, where does he live? Or where does she live? I'm using here does because the subject is singular. Keep in mind, always treat you as plural. It could be when you're talking to a single person, when the you comes, keep in mind it's always you is plural, and therefore you need to use do here. So when somebody asks us, where do you live? It's very easy, as I told you before. You can either say I live, or you can say I am living. But the best one is I live. That could be better. And then after you know the place, and now you want to know a bit about their family members, right? Do not go too personal, but there is no harm in asking this question. But politely, you need to make a point that your tonality of exchanging your talks is more, it matters a lot. Now, in this picture, you can see that like how many you're meeting her, and you can ask her like, how many are you in your family? You can either say how many are you can stop over there, or you can also ask like how many are you in your family. So after knowing the family, she may say that we are five. She was thinking that we are five in our family. She can say that way, or she can just say five. So it's better to make a sentence like we are five or we are five in our family. Later, you can just go ahead like, do you have siblings? Right? About father and mother, we already discussed what do you do. You can ask about what does your father do. If you are married, it's different. Yeah, we'll come back to another question. So you can. Next question is like, do you have siblings? So here the vocabulary is siblings. So what do you mean by siblings? Siblings is nothing but brothers and sisters. Rather asking like, do you have brothers and sisters? In that format, you can ask them like, do you have siblings? So you can say, yes, I have two siblings, I have three siblings. And if you want to specify how many brothers and sisters, you can say, I have one brother, I have two sisters. That way it works out. Siblings, no need to wonder just about brothers and sisters. So don't go the old format like, do you have brother and sisters? In the place of brother and sisters, you can go with siblings. Now you are talking to, you want to know about their marriage status. So how are you going to use it? Yeah. Okay, let me scroll this first. Okay. The question is, are you married? I've seen people asking like, are you marriage? No, marriage is an event, right? So you want to check out whether they're married or not. Are you married? Is she married? Right? Helping verb is are and no do here. Please note, are you married? No do here. You have to you go with this one. Helping verb are. Whereas this is you have a main verb here V1, so you're using do. Are you married? Or you can ask about her. Yeah, is she married? Your answer can be yes, I am married, or she is married. And later you want to know a bit about their husband or whatever. What does your husband do? Right? What does your husband do? Or what is your husband doing? If you're using over here, is is helping verb, then here the main verb becomes an ing form. What is your husband doing? If you are using in a simple do or does, the main verb it's come in V1. Then after knowing this, what does your husband do? Your answer can be like, he works in a private sector, or he is a businessman, or he is a teacher, whatever. And later, next question, little gentle question about, do you have any kids? Sometimes it may hurt for a person who doesn't have kid. You need to change tonality very softly, like even here, are you married? You can just ask very softly, are you married? No. Are you married? No. So sometimes it matters or not. Some people are not married, or maybe your question can irritate them. Ask very politely, hey, are you married? That way. And if they're married, okay, say, what does your husband do? They're done with it. But here again, a sensitive question. Like some people are very sensitive or they don't talk about this topic. So you be careful how well you can go ahead with your conversation. So when you're coming up the kids matter, you can ask, you can also ask, do you have any kids? If they say yes, your next question can be, how many kids do you have? If you wish, you can talk, otherwise nothing. These are the just a startup conversation, I can tell you. It's a beginning level. You can just go ahead. Please mind the grammar. Even people who ever speak good English, sometimes they don't take care of this formation of sentence, or sometimes don't care of this helping verb. They ask like where you live. They find difficult to use this helping verb do and does. Even for them, it's helpful. It doesn't mean that it's only for beginners, even for the person who's a very good speaker. So do mind about the pattern, how well you have formed the order of the sentence. That's more required. And for the beginners, if you are learning, I'm sure you will not do mistakes because you are following the right pattern and you're pretty slow. Whenever you're practicing, practice slowly so that you can understand what you're doing. And later, when you start talking, you can slowly push your sentence without any errors. The more slow you are in learning, I'm sure you will speed up in your life. Sometimes we need to give space for ourselves. So next one is, look at here, the picture shows one is jogging, another one is cycling. So based on this, all about a family. So what kind of questions can you ask? Yes. Do you go for jogging every day? Like if you see a person you're meeting up in a park, or if you see them go in a early morning, you can ask, hey, do you go for jogging every day? I used your do, that was WH question. Where do you live? And look at the pattern here. Do, I use do here, then you, and go for jogging. Helping verb, subject, verb in the first form, and rest goes here. Jogging here, it is not a verb. Keep in mind, it is not a verb. It's doing some job over here. It becomes we call it as gerund. Let's not talk about it now. You focus on the first three words, how it is formed. You go for jogging, no. You can go for do, first verb, helping verb. Please note, if it is third person here, you need to use does. So, do you go for jogging? She says, yes, I go every day. And again, you want to ask about daughter. Does your daughter do cycling? I used your does helping verb. And because subject is your daughter, third person, therefore I used does. And I said, do cycling. There's a verb here. Or does your daughter cycle every day? You can ask this one. And her answer is yes, she goes along with her dad. Is anything is possible here? She goes along with her dad. You can answer, you can say yes, she does cycling every day, or she goes along with. I'm just telling you how the sentence has to be structured. Write down, make a note of it, and start practicing. It's very, very simple to learn. The next one here about, now as you asked, and they're also asking you back, so how do you maintain your health? They may ask you this question to you. How do you maintain your health? Or do you also go for jogging, or do you do any exercise at home? How, I mean, they may also ask you. It's not just one way conversation. If it is one way conversation, it becomes like an interview session. So when you say conversation, it both have to interact, just not nodding your head. You need to question them back. So you were asking these questions, so they ask you this question, how do you maintain your health? So your answer can be again, I go to gym and also do meditation every day. So this is how you need to do it. I hope this is clear with you. So let us go to the next slide. Here you could see her holding a plant, and you can see someone is helping over there. So what is it striking you? It's all talking about their how they are investing their free times, whatever it's, or maybe you can talk about their hobbies. In this slide, we are going to talk about hobbies. Even here, you need to use do or does. In this particular slide, I mean, in this class 4, we are more discussing about do and does. So first you appreciate them. Wow, nice plans. When you go there, first see that you are able to appreciate. You can say in different ways. Wow, nice plans, whatever it is. Or you can say simply superb, really superb. Compliment them. Giving compliment is one of your character. The more you try to give, this also is small phrases. Whatever you're learning, when you start putting into practice, I'm sure when you start talking, you gain confidence. That's for sure. So nice plans, it's a small phrase. But wow, again, tone varies. The question here is, and she says, hey, thanks, right? Then, is gardening your hobby? You want to know more about this particular hobby. So you are asking her, is gardening your hobby? She can say, yes, it's my hobby. Or she can also say, not really, I do in my free times, right? When I do in my free time, in the sense like whenever she gets free, she does it. So not really. I subject, I use do here. I do in my free times. And the next question you're asking her is, does your husband help you? We use does. Reason is it's a third person. I hope you are getting me. Does your husband help you? Sometimes when he is bored with his work. She can say, yes, he helps me. Else, she can also say it like this, sometimes when he is bored with his work. The next question you want to ask is like, how long have you been into this? In the sense, like, how long have you been into this gardening, growing plants? So her answer is, since my childhood, I love gardening. Right. I hope this chapter is easy for you to understand and looks like you have understood. So if you have any doubts, please ping me. This chapter is generally called as simple present tense. I don't want to highlight as a grammar part. I just want you to understand how to use do and does. try to think in English. Do not try to think in your regional languages because it takes lots of time. Sometimes all the words cannot be put into English. As you know, that the formation of sentence also varies. The way you talk in a regional language that cannot exist in the English. And when you start thinking in English, it consumes lots of time because you're thinking in English and later in here in your regional language. Then you are thinking in English. It might consume time, and it is consuming time. In my classes, I could see lots of people telling me these issues. So max to max, avoid to think in your regional language and put effort to learn to think in English. So I hope this class was very simple for you to understand. Please do share your comments. And once again, I request you to kindly subscribe my channel, The Art of Communicating. This every day, the video will be telecast at 8:30 to 9 between this time. Exactly sharp 8:30, it will be telecasted. So if you subscribe, you will be getting notifications and you will not be missing out any classes. I hope you have understood. If you, and moreover, I am also sharing the playlist of all the classes so that if you click the link, you'll be getting it all the sessions what you have in case if you have missed out. So your comment for me it's very very important. So I would like to say that the more effort you put, it's easy for you to learn. Initially it takes time, I'm sure it consumes time, I do understand, but do not give up. Try till you succeed. Having a will not work out. Most of them say this thing, ma'am, I want to learn, I want to learn. But you need to work towards it. Nothing comes easily to you. You think that learning English, it's difficult. Every skill, if you think in that way, it's difficult. Everything is learnable skill. You need to have a proper mentor, a proper trainer at a certain point of time. Even in my case, I have would say I've taken admission in so many course, and I have a mentor who guides me because I need someone to audit me or someone to take me to the right track. So we cannot learn everything by ourselves. Maybe YouTube can help you, but sometimes you need to get a proper mentor to guide you where you're going wrong and how it has to be pronounced. Because when you keep doing by yourself, sometimes it get bored because you have to correct yourself. So in that case, is you need to get a mentor. I also need to add up before I wind up saying that we have a live interactive session. It's for 30 days. So whoever's interested, please click the link below the video which I've given. It's a WhatsApp group so that we can discuss further. But before that, it's not a force that you need to join the live interaction session. If you think this channel is helping you, after seeing this 10 days of the sample class, and if you're comfortable with the classes and with the trainer, then you can just get back to us by clicking the link and we will give you the updates in that, right? Having a will with a effort will be succeeded. Before I wind up the session, I would like to say a quote of my favorite Bruce Lee's. He always say that knowing is not enough, we need to apply it, at the same time. Willing to Yeah, willing is not enough, we must do it. This is what I have been following because I'm a great fan of Bruce Lee. All his quotes are very motivational to me and I keep following it up. Whenever I learn something, I see the max to max, I start implementing, taking action, because only then we come to know where are we going wrong. So same way, learning English is very easy. And I'm teaching a very simple format. There's only a sample classes. When you come back to a live interactive session, it's a paid session. I want to remind you that it's a paid session. We will be having one-to-one interaction where we can do different kind of activities. It could be a role play, as I told you before. It could be about debates, or it could be about a business communication, or sometimes it could be also about drafting letters. As it's a 1 month session, I'm sure we are going to have an amazing session. Batches are going on here. So you can also click the link and get the updates of it. So keep trying, keep learning, learning. There's no end of learning. Just keep doing it. So let me come up with another video tomorrow. Until then, it's your Anuradha Shri, your career communication coach, signing off. Thank you. God bless you.